Hello, hello. Welcome. Hi, everybody. This is Joey. I'm house sitting in the house I'm at. Unfortunately, the lighting is not that great, so you get this little bit of a yellow light, and um, so I just want to apologize in advance for that. Let's see. Hey, so we are moving on. This is step 7 of the self care breakthrough system. We're talking about how you can create breakthroughs, and it looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. Hold on. Where did this all of a sudden get funny? Okay, there we go. Now I think we're back. Um, okay, so talking breakthroughs, how to create breakthroughs in your self-care, how to move yourself forward. We have covered the 6 or 7 so far. We've covered 6 steps, and just to review those, to catch you up, there's 6 videos down below. If you follow my feed at all, you'll see that there's 6 other videos. Highly recommend going back and checking those out, because you want to have breakthroughs in your self-care. You want to be able to take care of yourself better. And wow, oh, you know what it is? I know what's going on. Okay, we got a lot of lag, because I think there's a lot of people hopping online real quick. So I'm going to go through this quick. So, um, so this is what we're going to do. So we're going to just talk real quick about self-care, and I'm not going to go through the list, but here's what there is. This is the 7 things that you can see here on the screen. It's the self-care breakthrough system. It's just a process that walks you through so that you create a breakthrough. The first step is that we're really looking at your mindset, and to really elevate your mindset, to create a shift in your mindset, so that you can see things as possible. You really want to understand what self-care means to you, get clear on what that is, because it's different for everybody. You want to be able to understand what are the limiting beliefs that are getting in your way of you doing what you already know to do. This is where you learn to use what is called a cure song, to let go of your limiting beliefs. Highly recommend checking out the second video. It's a total game changer. It is. Then you're going to look at creating some meaningful and specific goals that move you forward. You don't want to just say, I want to be healthy. You want to be able to say, I want to fit into this exact dress by this time. I want to weigh this amount by this time. And have that goal be meaningful, mean something to you, not just some random goal. Then after you shift your mindset, then you want to start to build momentum, get things going, because you're not going to go from 0 to 100 right away. You want to be able to just continue to take baby steps and move forward. So then what to do that is, then you want to come up with a plan. You've got your goals set. Then what's a reasonable plan? A plan is going to help you go from point A to point B, so that you can actually accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish in the time that you want to accomplish it. Then what's going to happen is that you would use, then you start to take action. Do the things that you know to do. And if you do the things that you know to do, then you go back and you use the limiting belief, let go, so that you can get to the core of what's stopping you from doing what you know to do, so that you can then move forward. And then after that is you got to have a plan for recovery, because no matter how many actions you take, no matter what good your intentions are, at some point you're going to stumble. At some point you're going to just have off days, weeks, months, and you want to be able to wait to rest, recover, and then to restart. So that's what we've been covered up so far. Now, after you have a mindset shift, after you then start to build momentum, then you want to make things part of your routine. You just want to make your self-care part of your everyday routine. And even if you don't do the same things every day, but you do want to have a practice of your self-care, so that you can make it so it's not work. Because if it's not a part of a routine, part of a system, then it is the to-do. And to-dos are just, you got enough to-dos, you have enough. You want to have a system in place so that you just get up and you naturally do it, so that you can accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish without it having to be so much work. I can tell you, after applying this and really working out on a regular basis since June, my process for working out it's so much clearer. I wake up, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do in the morning. I know what I'm going to do in the afternoon. I know how much water I'm going to drink. Like, I just know all these things, and I'm not trying to figure it out. So it's just far less work and far less stress. The problem is that at the very beginning, it is stressful because you don't know what you want, you don't know what you need, and there's some uncertainty and all those kind of things. That's why you always go back to your mindset work, looking at your mindset, building momentum, and then putting in the routines. And the first part of to really start to put in the routines is to start to acknowledge your boundaries. And so this is the seventh part, is building boundaries. And what there is to do for that is, so here, sorry, I'm trying, look at that. Anyway, um, so what you're going to do with your boundaries is first start to understand all the different places where boundaries show up. And I want you to think about it. One of the most obvious boundaries that there is with the food that you eat. There's the boundary of, this is the food that I want to eat because I know it's healthy. And then this is the food that I don't want to eat because I know that it's healthy. And there's a boundary there. And of course, as you go through the day, you start to get decision fatigue, and you just start to get tired. And towards the end of the day, you may start to those boundaries may start to get blurred, and you start to eat the food that you know that you shouldn't want to, but it feels so good to do. Or maybe you have been participating in a diet plan for a long time, and you're just getting tired, and that's where the boundaries start to go down. So so there's that's one type of boundary. Then there's the boundaries you have with friends and family. There's boundaries you have with your work. And right now, when there's so much burnout and there's so much going on, and with the pandemic, excuse me, and boundaries being blurred in all sorts of different ways, because there's not these clear boundaries. That's one of the reasons. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons people are experiencing so much exhaustion, upset, frustration, and ultimately burnout. So we want to really start to put in your boundaries. Now, here's the part: boundaries take practice. You want to build up your muscles. You can't just go out and say, "Okay, I'm doing this." I mean, you can go out and say, "I'm doing this," but to really implement it over time, you want to practice. And what I say is, you want to start practicing in the, quote, safe areas of your life. Think about the places where you can really start to set the boundaries. Maybe you're the boss, right? You have some people reporting to you. You have some power to say, okay, this is how long our meeting is going to go. This is how long I need to go do this. You have some authority there. You can say, I want this meeting to end at 5:00 because I'm going to go for a half-hour walk at 5:00 before I pick up my kids at 6:00. Whatever it is, and you can start to, it kind of exerts some authority in that space. It's safe for you. You're not. The world's not going to end if you say, I want to have this meeting. Maybe you can do this with friends that you're really close to, or family members, where you can really start to practice and saying, I am going to do this at this certain time, or I am not going to eat this food, or I am going to eat this food. Whatever your boundaries are, practice with the safe areas. Practice with the places where it doesn't take a lot of energy for you to do. It's just building up your muscle, and you just want to repeat it over and over again. Because at some point, you're going to want to start to set the boundaries with more difficult situations. Maybe with a boss who's always demanding of your time. Maybe with a client who you need to be able to say, hey, here's what we're going to deliver, and here's what we're going to deliver it. And maybe you have trained those people. Maybe for a long time you have your company or your service. You've been allowing people to say, "Hey, can we turn this in late? And can you do it over the weekend?" And you've been saying yes, yes, yes because you thought that would make the difference. And maybe that makes a difference for them. It helps them, but ultimately leads to burnout for you and your staff because you're always racing and trying to reach these goals that really were not agreed on ahead of time and not really possible. So at that point, you're going to have to sit down and say, hey, I know we did it this way. We used to do it this way. We used to say it was okay for you to put in as many changes as you want. We are now putting in some practices. You get a certain amount of changes. We will do it at a certain time, and we'll deliver on it. Otherwise, it's either going to cost you more money, or it's going to cost longer, or whatever your other is. And that takes a little something, because you've trained people to go one way, and now you want to untrain them and say, hey, we're going to go another way. So not only do you have to work on honoring that boundary, but you also have to get other people to honor that boundary. And that's just a little more work. It's just more effort. But again, it's putting in the boundaries so that you can have systems in place that allow you to experience your self-care and deliver whatever it is that you want to deliver. So the challenge, my invitation for you today, is to start to think about what boundaries you have that you need to kind of that you either need to put in place, or that maybe the boundary is already there but you're not honoring. And start to think about that, and then divide them up into kind of the easier and hard pile. Start to tackle the easy ones first, and then go to the hard ones. Because as you do this, well, what happens is that you will build up your boundary muscles. You will be able to start to say, this is what I'm doing. You will start to deliver faster, on time. Your self-care will increase because you're honoring who you are and what you say. So that's it. Let's see. Thank you for watching this. If you catch this on the replay, let me know if you have any questions. If you are interested in more, just really exploring this deeper and having a breakthrough in your self-care. And a breakthrough is something that you get to say. Self-care means different things to different people, but you get to say what it is. And if you want to have a breakthrough in it, like an undeniable breakthrough, like results that are like, there was a time before you had these results, and then there was a time after it. If you want that, then check out, there's a link down below for the self-care breakthrough system. It can train you in all of this. It's not complicated, but you do need to be able to understand the different steps because they all work together. So that's it. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. And I look forward to talking to you. Remember, you have something incredible to offer the world. If you can have a breakthrough in your self-care, it will allow you to make the difference that you want to make and do it with less energy and less work, less stress. That's it. I'll talk later.